Have you ever stopped to think about your garden? Not as just a plot of land, but as a tiny, bustling city? A whole neighborhood filled with different residents, right? Some are helpful, some are, well, not so helpful, but they're all living side by side. So today, that's exactly what we're going to get into, the amazing, ancient technique of companion planting. You know, I absolutely love this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. It just completely flips the script on how we usually see our gardens. We get so locked into this idea of good plants versus bad plants, the weeds. But what if he's right? What if every single plant has a job to do? It's all about putting the right neighbors together to build a community that really works. And that's the whole idea in a nutshell. Companion planting is so much more than just randomly sticking plants in the ground. It's a super smart, ancient strategy. It's about building a team where plants literally work together. They're helping each other out, protecting each other, supporting each other, creating this amazing environment where the whole garden just takes off. It's a total shift in thinking, right? You stop focusing on single plants and start seeing the power of the entire plant community. All right, so if you're going to build a strong community, first things first, you got to know who's in the neighborhood. And yeah, just like any neighborhood, your garden has its heroes and it's got its troublemakers. Okay, check out the difference here. On one side, you've got your problem children, like aphids. These guys are basically tiny vampires, just sucking the life right out of your plants. Then you've got caterpillars, which can chew through leaves and stems like there's no tomorrow. But then, you've got the good guys. Ladybugs are absolute monsters. In the best way possible, they can devour dozens of aphids an hour. And hoverflies? They're doing double duty. They're fantastic pollinators, and they hunt down aphids. So the real question becomes, how do you get more of the good guys and, gently escort the bad guys out?
Well, this is where companion planting really starts to get cool. The first trick is to recruit some best friends for your veggies. And these best friends often come in the form of certain herbs and flowers that act like your garden's own personal security team.
Seriously, think of these plants as bodyguards. Their secret weapon? It's their smell. See, a lot of pests find their next meal by scent, and the powerful aromas from plants like thyme and basil basically create this confusing cloud of smells. It's like olfactory camouflage. Rosemary is a perfect example. Its strong, piney scent totally masks the smell of carrots, making them pretty much invisible to pesky carrot flies. So you're not just planting herbs for cooking, you're building a fragrant force field around your crops.
But wait, it gets even smarter. Pest control isn't just about pushing the bad guys away. Some of the best companion plants don't even get their hands dirty. They call in reinforcements. They're like little recruiters putting out a welcome mat for helpful insects who are more than happy to do the cleanup for you.
And this right here, this is basically your recruitment playbook. Got a bunch of caterpillars munching on your kale? Hey, instead of grabbing a spray bottle, try planting some parsley nearby. That parsley is like a neon sign for tachinid flies, which are natural-born caterpillar hunters. Or maybe aphids are driving you crazy. Plant some lemon balm. That'll bring in the hoverflies. It's such a beautiful system, isn't it? You're basically outsourcing your pest control to Mother Nature and creating a garden that can take care of itself. Okay, so we've talked about using scents as a weapon and recruiting an insect army. But companion planting can also be about physical support. It's about how the actual shape and size of one plant can create the perfect little microenvironment for another, especially when it comes to offering up a little shade. Now, to really get why shade matters so much, we have to talk about something called bolting. This is what happens when plants that love cool weather, like lettuce or spinach, get too hot. They panic, basically. They shoot up a flower stalk and put all their energy into making seeds. It's a survival thing for the plant, but for us, well, it means bitter-tasting leaves. And that's just bad news for our salad bowl. But here's the beautifully simple fix. If you plant a tall, sun-loving crop like tomatoes right next to your lettuce, you create a natural sunshade. The tomato plant soaks up all that direct sun it loves, and its leaves cast just enough dappled shade to keep the lettuce underneath cool and happy. This can keep it crisp and sweet way longer, extending your harvest right into the hotter weather. It's just a perfect case of neighbors helping each other out when things get tough. So we've seen how plants can be bodyguards, recruiters, even protectors. That's all great, but how do you put all these ideas into action? How do you actually design your own little harmonious garden community? It's actually pretty straightforward. You can break it down into a simple 3-step plan. First, pick your star players, the main veggies you really want to grow. Let's stick with tomatoes. Okay, step 2, play detective. What bugs or issues usually go after tomatoes where you live? Maybe it's whiteflies. And then step 3, pick their perfect neighbors.
Knowing whiteflies are a threat, you'd plant marigolds or basil right next to them as a deterrent. See? It's a really strategic way to think about building your ideal plant neighborhood.
When you start to think this way, gardening becomes so much more than just a chore. It's an act of creation. You're not just a gardener anymore, you're an architect, designing a living, breathing, cooperative ecosystem. So as you start planning for the season, the real question isn't just what you're going to grow. It's what kind of vibrant, thriving community are you going to build?